Has someone you love started showing subtle, yet concerning changes over the past year? It's easy to brush them off as just a part of aging, but the truth is, our bodies often send quiet warnings long before life reaches its final stage. Many people believe that death in old age happens suddenly, but the reality is much different. These signs appear slowly, and more often than not, they're overlooked because they seem too small to matter. It's only when we look back that we realize the clues were always there. But by then, it's too late to prepare, too late to cherish those final moments. In this video, we're going to share 5 key signs that often emerge months, or even up to a year, before an elderly person passes away. Some of them might be things you've noticed, but dismissed as simple aging. Others may seem minor, but they are actually the body's way of signaling a deeper decline. Recognizing these signs early on gives you the chance to provide better care, create lasting memories, and ensure your loved one's final stage of life is filled with comfort, dignity, and peace. Stay with us until the end, because these 5 signs can help you emotionally and practically prepare for what's ahead. Understanding what's happening means you won't be caught off guard. You'll be able to make the most of the time you have left with those you love. If this sounds like something that can help you or someone you know, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell, so you won't miss more helpful insights like these. Now, let's get started. 1. Significant weight loss. One of the most alarming and earliest signs that an elderly person may be nearing the final stages of their life is unintentional weight loss. It often begins subtly, perhaps a belt that needs tightening or a jacket that no longer fits quite right. At first glance, it may seem like nothing more than the typical result of aging or a temporary issue, like a loss of appetite due to stress or minor illness. But in truth, these seemingly insignificant changes can be part of a much larger, deeper process taking place within a body. Unintentional weight loss is often an indication that the body is no longer absorbing nutrients efficiently or processing protein in the way it once did. As the body struggles to maintain its nutritional balance, muscle mass begins to dwindle and strength starts to fade. This isn't just about the numbers on the scale. It's a sign that the body is going into a state of decline. The body's inability to properly absorb and utilize nutrients can lead to muscle wasting, which not only makes basic movements more difficult, but also increases the risk of falls. This loss of strength and stability can be particularly dangerous as elderly individuals become more fragile, often unable to catch themselves when they stumble. Moreover, muscle loss has a direct impact on other essential systems. The immune system, which already becomes weaker with age, is further compromised. A weakened immune system means the body is less capable of fighting off infections and illnesses, putting your loved one at increased risk for complications. Even a common cold or minor infection can become a serious concern when the body lacks the strength and defenses to combat it. While it's natural to want to encourage your loved one to eat more, offer them their favorite foods, or try and tempt them with high-calorie snacks, it's important to recognize that in these situations, food intake alone may not be enough. When weight loss is persistent and unrelenting, despite your best efforts, it often indicates a deeper issue that can't simply be solved with a meal. The body is no longer able to process food in the same way, and it may not even be able to absorb the nutrients it needs to stay strong. At this point, it's essential to focus not on forcing large meals, but on creating a more comfortable eating environment. Offering easy-to-eat foods that are both nutritious and gentle on the stomach, along with ensuring adequate hydration, can make a bigger difference in maintaining their overall quality of life. It's hard to accept that these subtle changes are often signs of something much more serious, but understanding them can help you prepare for what lies ahead. This is not about trying to reverse the inevitable, but about adapting to it with grace and compassion. Shifting your perspective from trying to fix the issue to focusing on providing comfort and care can greatly enhance the quality of life in their final stage. Recognizing these signs early on means you can cherish the precious moments left and make them count. By acknowledging the significance of weight loss as more than just a physical change, but as a message from the body that it's entering a new phase, you could be better prepared to support your loved one with dignity. You'll be able to make informed decisions and focus on what matters most, creating a peaceful, comfortable environment where your loved one feels valued and loved. Recognizing the early stages of decline allows you to offer meaningful moments, rather than waiting until it's too late. These small changes, though easy to miss, are often the first quiet warnings that the end is approaching, and knowing how to respond to them can help you navigate this journey with compassion and love. 2. Extreme fatigue and weakness. As an elderly person approaches the final stages of life, one of the most noticeable and overwhelming changes can be extreme fatigue. But this isn't the kind of tiredness that simply comes after a long day or from a bit of physical exertion. This is a deep, persistent exhaustion that doesn't go away no matter how much rest they get. It's a kind of weariness that affects everything, a weariness that even simple tasks, once routine, now seem impossible to complete. At first, you may notice small things. They have trouble getting out of bed. Walking across the room feels like a marathon, or they find it difficult to dress themselves or hold a conversation without needing to pause and rest. The fatigue isn't just physical, it's emotional too. Many elderly individuals who once prided themselves on their independence may suddenly find themselves feeling frustrated, helpless, or even embarrassed. They might withdraw from social situations or become less engaged with family and friends, not because they don't care, but because they simply don't have the energy to participate in life the way they once did. This extreme fatigue isn't just a result of aging. It's a sign that the body is slowly shutting down, redirecting its energy to focus on vital organs and systems that need it most. As organ function begins to slow, the body conserves its remaining energy, leaving less available for movement or daily tasks. The heart doesn't pump as efficiently, circulation weakens, and muscles don't get the same level of oxygen and nutrients they once did. This means that activities which used to be easy, like getting dressed or taking a walk, become overwhelming and exhausting. Metabolism also slows as the body enters this final phase. Instead of using energy for movement, it starts to preserve energy to sustain life as long as possible. It's why your loved one may begin sleeping more, taking longer naps throughout the day, or needing more rest even after seemingly small amounts of activity. The body is simply trying to conserve energy, making the need for rest even more urgent. In some cases, you may notice that their energy seems to drop unexpectedly. One moment they may seem perfectly fine, and the next they're completely drained, unable to continue with the task at hand. The emotional impact of extreme fatigue can be just as significant as the physical changes. Watching someone you love who was once active and engaged in life become withdrawn and exhausted can be heartbreaking. It may be easy to assume they're just being lazy or that they need to push through their tiredness. But the truth is, pushing them to do more will not help. Instead, what's most important during this stage is understanding their limits, offering support without pressure, and allowing them the rest they desperately need. The physical exhaustion is the body's way of preparing for the inevitable, and it needs compassion, not criticism. This fatigue is also the root cause of emotional withdrawal. The less energy someone has to interact with others, the less likely they are to participate in conversations, enjoy their hobbies, or engage in social activities. And while it may seem like they're distancing themselves or withdrawing emotionally, it's important to remember that this behavior isn't intentional. It's simply a result of their body slowing down. The lack of energy leads to a diminished capacity to interact and process emotions the way they used to. As difficult as it is to witness, this is a time when families need to be patient and understanding. It's crucial to remember that this isn't laziness or a sign of giving up. It's the natural progression of the body preparing for its final transition. This is the time to cherish the quiet moments, to focus on comfort, and to support them in ways that honor their needs. Rather than pushing for more activity, try creating a peaceful, restful environment that allows them to feel safe and loved. The greatest gift you can give during this time is the reassurance that they are not alone. Their lack of energy isn't a reflection of their love for you. It's simply a result of their body's natural process. What matters most is making them feel understood and cared for, no matter how small or simple the gestures may seem. The deep, ongoing fatigue might feel like an insurmountable obstacle, but it's also a call for compassion. When you embrace this understanding, you can navigate these difficult times with grace, helping your loved one feel supported through their final journey. Ultimately, it's about letting go of the expectations of what they should be able to do and instead focusing on what you can do. Be there with them, support them, and love them through their tiredness. This stage may be challenging, but is also an opportunity to create meaningful moments by simply being present, offering gentle words, and making their remaining days as comfortable and peaceful as possible. 3. Increased cognitive confusion or withdrawal. As the body declines, the mind often follows, leading to cognitive confusion or emotional withdrawal in elderly loved ones. This goes beyond simple forgetfulness. It involves a deeper shift in memory, thought processing, and interactions. At first, you may notice signs like frequent forgetfulness, trouble following conversations, or difficulty remembering familiar names and faces. A once sharp mind may now seem disoriented or repetitive. These changes are often overlooked as normal aging, but they can signal that the brain's function is weakening. This happens as the body reallocates essential resources away from non-vital functions like cognitive processing, weakening circulation and the brain's ability to function. At times, your loved one may experience moments of lucidity, only to be followed by episodes of confusion. It can be confusing for both of you, as the familiar person may seem distant. Even harder to watch is the emotional withdrawal that often accompanies this decline. Conversations may become tiring, and social interactions may overwhelm them. It's not that they don't want to connect, it's that their brain can no longer process emotions the same way. They may become quieter, more withdrawn, or show changes in mood, like irritability or calmness. This is not a personality change. It's a response to the body's decline. Understanding this, it's important to approach them with patience and compassion. Instead of pushing for conversation, simply be present. Offer comfort through touch or calm words, and create a familiar, safe environment. Surround them with comforting objects or sounds, like their favorite music or photos. The goal isn't to fix the confusion, but to provide peace and stability. Your presence and the comfort of a calm, familiar environment can offer reassurance. Though it's difficult, this stage is an opportunity to show love in ways that go beyond words, ensuring that your loved one feels supported and cherished. 4. Frequent infections and slow healing. As the body begins its slow decline, one of the most noticeable physical changes is a weakened immune system. You may start noticing that your elderly loved one seems to catch every cold, flu, or minor infection that comes their way. What would normally be a simple, passing illness now lingers for much longer, and wounds that would once heal quickly now take a great deal of time to recover. This is a sign that the body's ability to fight off infections and repair itself has weakened significantly. The circulation slows, reducing the blood flow to vital organs and tissues. Without proper circulation, the body is less able to deliver the oxygen and nutrients necessary for healing, which means that even small cuts, bruises, or infections become much more serious and harder to recover from. You may notice your loved one becoming more vulnerable to things like pneumonia, urinary tract infections, UTIs, or skin infections. These can seem like isolated incidents, but when they happen repeatedly or refuse to clear up, it's often an indicator that the body's natural defenses are not what they used to be. In fact, infections in elderly individuals often don't present in the way we expect. Instead of a fever or clear signs of sickness, the first warning sign may be a noticeable change in their mental state. Perhaps they become more confused or disoriented, or even stop eating as much. For families, watching a loved one go through repeated infections can feel like an endless cycle. It's easy to want to push for more aggressive treatments, desperately hoping that another round of antibiotics or a hospital stay will bring them back to full health. But as the body continues to weaken, even these treatments may seem less effective. The focus starts to shift from curing the illness to providing comfort. Hydration, maintaining good hygiene, and minimizing stress on a body may help more than another round of medication that only prolongs suffering. In these moments, it's crucial to approach the situation with a deep sense of understanding and empathy. The goal isn't always to fix the situation, but rather to ensure that your loved one feels as comfortable as possible during this stage of life. You may need to adjust your focus from fighting illness to fostering an environment where your loved one can rest, recover, and find peace. Remember, when infections start to become frequent and healing slows down, it's not just about the physical struggle. It's also a reminder that the body is gradually preparing for the final stages. While it's incredibly difficult to watch someone you care about become more susceptible to illness, understanding this sign allows you to better support them emotionally and physically in their last year. Creating a space where comfort, hydration, and minimal distress are priorities can make all the difference in easing their journey. 5. Major changes in breathing or circulation. As the body approaches its final stages, perhaps one of the most telling signs is the noticeable changes in breathing patterns and circulation. At first, these changes can seem small, but as they progress, they serve as clear signals that the body is winding down and preparing for its final transition. You may notice that your loved one's breathing becomes slower or more shallow, almost as if they are struggling to catch their breath. At times, they may pause between breaths, or their breathing could become irregular, alternating between rapid breaths followed by long, slow pauses. This type of irregular breathing, known as Cheyne-Stokes respiration, is a sign that the body is beginning to shut down. It's often a clear indicator that the body is redirecting its energy toward preservation rather than movement. Another sign of this transition is weakened circulation. You may see that your loved one's extremities, like their hands, feet, or even their nose and ears, feel cold to the touch. Their skin may also appear pale or even slightly bluish, especially around the fingers and toes. This happens because the body starts to prioritize blood flow to the vital organs, reducing circulation to less critical areas. This reduction in circulation can also lead to increased shortness of breath, even with minimal physical exertion. Tasks that once seemed effortless, like sitting up, speaking, or even shifting positions, may now cause them to become winded or breathless. In addition to these signs, you may also notice the buildup of fluid in the lungs, which can lead to coughing, gurgling sounds when breathing, or tightness in the chest. While medical interventions can sometimes offer temporary relief, at this stage, the focus should be on creating comfort. Ensuring that your loved one is in a position where they can breathe more easily, offering them a peaceful environment, and minimizing exertion are all key to maintaining their quality of life. For families, witnessing these physical changes can be deeply emotional. It's hard to see someone you love struggling to breathe or feeling like they're not able to do what they once could. But these changes are part of the natural process, and understanding them can help you approach this phase with more clarity and compassion. When changes in breathing and circulation become apparent, it's a reminder that the end of life is drawing closer. While it can be a frightening experience to witness, it's important to recognize that your role during this time is to ensure that your loved one is as comfortable as possible. Sometimes, it's not about curing the symptoms, but about providing a calm, supportive, and loving presence as they move through this final stage. During this time, focusing on comfort is essential, making sure they're not in pain, helping them find positions that are easier to breathe in, and surrounding them with a peaceful environment. It's also a time to cherish the moments you have left. The final stages of life are about love, comfort, and dignity, not about fighting the inevitable. By creating a safe, serene space for your loved one, you can ensure that their final days are filled with warmth, compassion, and peace. Understanding these signs, changes in breathing, circulation, and overall vitality, can help you prepare for the end of life with grace, understanding, and a commitment to your loved one's well-being. It's a reminder that as hard as it is to let go, the journey toward the end of life can be made a little easier with patience, comfort, and most importantly, love. As we reach the end of this video, It's important to remember that recognizing these 5 signs isn't about predicting the exact moment when life will come to an end. It's about understanding the subtle changes that happen in the months leading up to it. These signs are often overlooked because they seem small or are mistaken for just normal aging, but they hold significant meaning. When we become aware of them early on, we're better equipped to offer our loved ones the care, comfort, and dignity they deserve in their final stage of life. While it's never easy to accept that time is running out, acknowledging these changes allows us to make the most of the time we have left. We can create more meaningful memories, provide a sense of peace, and ensure that our loved ones' final moments are as comforting as possible. If you found this video helpful, please consider subscribing to our channel for more videos like this one. It's not easy to talk about these difficult topics, but together we can navigate these tough conversations with compassion, understanding, and love. Thank you for watching, and remember to cherish every moment with those you love. Take care, and we'll see you in the next video.